It was 5 years ago when I noticed it for the first time. I was on a long train ride which lasted for several hours. There was a young girl sitting in close proximity to me, who may have been as young as in her teens, spending a lot of time looking at her video reflection on her cell phone screen. I was not intentionally doing what some consider to be visual eavesdropping. Others come right out and call it being nosy. It's just that her cell phone screen was right there in front of me. I could not but help see what she was looking at. That was when I saw it for the first time, which is all around the world by now. People using filter apps to jazz up their appearance. When I noticed her doing that, I was like, what in the world will they think of next? I viewed it strictly as a young folks thing. Nothing I'd ever do. Nothing I'd ever even consider doing. I've got better things to do with my time. Such as envisioning myself as a sort of interviewer over Zoom. You know what I'm talking about, because it's the same thing a lot of professional broadcasters do nowadays. They have the double screen, with the interviewer is on the one side and the person being interviewed on the other side, or even two colleagues instead, sharing their thoughts about the topic of the day. It's how I imagine myself, rather than bothering with anything like changing my facial features in some ridiculous way. Better to focus on something meaningful. One of the things I learned recently is to never say never, that I'll never do this or never do that, which is what this clip is all about. You see, I did not find that person to conduct that interview with over Zoom. Never came across anyone who'd say yes to it. What I came across instead was a simple, free desktop app which turned out to be easy to use, called Snap Camera, which is one of the most interesting facial filters I've ever seen. And that's saying a lot, because I've been around for a moment. This face filter is so effective, it can actually change the majority of a person's facial features, as if you were wearing a mask or having been in the chair of a makeup artist for hours, all with the snap of a finger. Maybe that's why they call it Snap Camera. It did not take me long at all to realize I'm now able to satisfy my goal of doing a Zoomcast by interviewing someone. To be able to ask someone a few questions and they respond, where I get to play both roles, as the person on the one side of the screen as well as the person on the other side. I already know enough about the slightly advanced techniques of Adobe Premiere to put it all together seamlessly. In my first effort, keeping it reasonably short with only a handful of questions. Here is the result. Me interviewing me. I should add, I made no attempt to alter my voice at all. I figured to play around with it for a time. Should I become ambitious enough at some future time, then I can always use the Adobe Audition program to change my voice tone and pitch later on. Like every time I open my mouth to say something serious to you, you're like on the floor laughing. And I'm trying to have a discussion about an important matter, and every time you look at me, you just bust out laughing. I'm trying to figure out what's up with that. I mean, like, do I amuse you? Is that what it is? I mean, I just don't get it. I don't understand why that is. Hello, Mr. Earl. How are you doing? Well, I guess I'm all right. I've got the typical aches and pains one would expect for a person my age. Other than that, I guess you could say I'm glad to be alive, happy to still be around. Why is it that people, when they become elderly, tend to laugh while they talk? My grandpa did that a lot. I'm just wondering why that is. Well, now, I do that? Yes, you do. Well, I don't rightly know. I did not realize that I was doing it until you just now brought it to my attention. About the only thing I can say to that would be once you get old, see if you start doing it yourself. Then you'll know why. Are you taking your medications and getting your rest? Well, you know, I got the one medicine I take for my back, and I got the other one I take for my side, and I got the other one I take for my front, and I got the other one I take for my... Well, it was certainly nice chatting with you, Mr. Earl. We are about out of time and have to go. It's interesting that you should bring up Satchel Paige. I didn't bring up Satchel Paige. Did I ever tell you that I saw him play in the Negro League? He was a heck of a pitcher. The man, he had a curveball like you would not believe. Could strike a man out just as soon as you look at him. Mr. Earl, I thank you again for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.